Hello and welcome to a quiet evening in the long dark. My name is Michael Batman Guy, and today I'd like to try something a little different. This is going to be a test of audio in particular. I'm going to be recording my voice as well as the game sound straight through OBS instead of using Audacity and combining the two later. So I expect some difference in sound. I'm also going to be trying out some of the new features that came with the update. In particular, the new survival option of a custom difficulty setting. There's a lot of fun things we can do with this. One thing I have tried, when you first load this up, there's a sort of a default nothingness. You can see here we can go through the different difficulties, and it will tell you each of these settings, what they are. For Pilgrim, you can see a low calorie burn rate. If you go up to Voyager, Stalker, and Interloper, if you wondered why you got so much hungrier in the higher difficulties, here you go. So great way to learn about the game just by looking at how those things change. Let's go back here and start that again, though. No? How much further back do I gotta go? Hang on here. Select this. Oh, it's still there. And anyways, when it first starts out, it starts with like no, nothing, low, everything, including your gear. So you start with almost nothing, and you might think, hey, that's great. I don't have to worry about any diseases or afflictions, and the freezing rate is going to be very low. Right? It's going to resemble Pilgrim mostly. Except when you get down to here to the wildlife, and these are all set to none. There's no fish, there's no wolves, that's fantastic, there's no deer, there's no rabbit, there's nothing to eat. I tried this once. I do recommend it as a fun little challenge. See what you can do. You're not going to last very long because there's no loot, not no loot, very low loot, right? Resource goes down to low, but no renewable food resources, so you're not going to last for very long. Anyways, I've set up some settings here that I would like to give a try, and I would best describe this as Interloper weather with some Pilgrim level loot and animal behavior. So the main difference from Interloper all by itself is that you still have the Pilgrim, what does it say, passive animals. That should be it. So we're going to give ourselves a good start and lots of loot, right? The baseline resource availability. Oh, I have done something very wrong. There, that should be one. Clearly, I did not type it in. Let me try again. And yes, you do have to type in each of these little dashes. Oh, this was capital P. I don't think I capitalized last time. 2A dash A. Let's try that. Okay, that looks better. So we're going to have a clear start. Keep the length normal. I haven't messed with that at all, but that could be an interesting challenge, making the day last longer in real time. But awful weather. This is Interloper level of weather awfulness, except for the fire. Fire overcomes ambient temperature. I wanted fires to actually be useful, and so while they're not going to overcome a blizzard because wind is still a factor, I like that you should actually be able to set a fire in a cave and still possibly survive. Otherwise, a little too rough. And again, the rates on all of these You can even make it worse. Or you could go very high thirsty and just be chugging water all the time. Everything is enabled, including cabin fever. It's not perfect, but my play style usually doesn't depend upon the indoors. Now, that being said, the blizzards might make that rather difficult. We'll see. And I will let it wake me up when freezing. I don't want to accidentally click a button and then just fade away into nothing. That's not very exciting for a video, at the very least. And let's see what else we got here. The best loot and items available, lasting the longest as possible. Lots of animals, everything set to high or very high. So we're going to have resources in abundance available. It's going to be us versus the weather. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So you can see the passive wildlife, right? They will not attack, generally flee unless provoked. That's one of the major differences that sets Pilgrim apart. But otherwise, everything is fairly normal, and the struggle is very dangerous still, although I've given myself a high fight back bonus just to make it shorter overall, because I don't like to sit there mashing the button forever. That just seems dull to me. And I'm not that fast at clicking all the times. I don't want to break my mouse just trying to survive in a video game. So we're gonna start with that. That's gonna be our beginning. The code will be in the description if you want to try it too. As far as region, I would love to try Timberwolf Mountain as a start. This is absolutely my favorite place in this game. Play through everything except the... Let's see. I haven't done much in Broken Railroad. Let's see, for those of you not intimately familiar, Mr. Lake was the first one, and that's I'd say it's a fair balance. That's really fun to do. That the default custom. The code is just all capital A's if you're interested. AAA-AAA, or I think 4, right? AAA-AAA. That's really fun because there's nothing there, and it's not even you versus the elements, although it is cold to start with. Well, it looks like I'm not gonna get out of editing this entirely. But as I was saying, Mr. Lake, fairly good start. Coastal Highway, this is, in a sense, my backup plan. Coastal Highway has a lot of stuff, lots of resources. The balance is, as it says here, watch out for wildlife. It is usually full of wolves. On these settings, the wolves start out passive, much like Pilgrim, so they're really not a challenge. And so if you want to try an Interloper style difficulty to try out the weather, I'd say this is a good type of custom game to start. And go ahead and give Coastal Highway a try. You can experience the weather and not have to worry about finding food and clothing and that material. So this will be my backup. If we really struggle on Timberwolf, I'll redo a game on Coastal Highway. Desolation Point, not a whole lot there. It's more of a good place to visit. Might not be a bad start just to get everything and leave. I don't know, but you will be visiting there for the Forge, I suppose. So we'll have to make a trip out there. And Pleasant Valley, massive and very cold. I would not recommend starting there because you're going to be freezing cold enough. And Forlorn Muskeg, I've not played in a whole lot, even less so in the Broken Railroad and Mountain Towns, which were released with the story mode. And of course, we could just go random. But I would like to try a Timberwolf Mountain start. This is going to be very difficult because there's almost no resources readily available, and you do not start with a knife or hatchet. So we're going to need to find those tools just to make things viable. So I'm going to be living off of stick fires to begin with until I can get some crates, the cargo containers from the crashed plane. My goal is to get to the summit as quickly as possible. That's where all the loot is, and that's where the coats are that'll actually keep me warm. I've done a couple test runs on this before starting now, and they have gone okay. I won't say they were great. I at least made it up there once in the middle of a blizzard, so if my luck holds out, this will be just as exciting as that time. But as I said, if we're not able to make this work, I'm going to continue playing and pushing forward and just trying this game out, messing with the custom settings. Maybe we'll go somewhere like Coastal Highway for an easier start. So many interesting options now. I don't want to rule it out. This is not a end the series when I die. This is not a push for any particular amount of days. I'd love to make it to, say, 100 days, but that's quite a long ways off. I don't even know if we're going to go, say, 100 episodes. I don't know. This is something to try. Winter has begun settling in here in the Chicago area, and I thought, what a great time with the new update to actually put this game on the channel. It's something I've been playing with since release, loving the heck out of, but always been, I guess, timid towards recording it because it's so intense and peaceful at the same time. I really love walking through the winter wonderland of the game while I have another video or something on in the background. But now I'm going to be producing the videos myself. So if you would like to join me, put the code into the game yourself, and let's dive in. I'm going to play as the female protagonist, just because I've used the male survivor, and his voice is wearing on me. So, I don't remember their names from the story mode. And we're going to call this... What should we... Well, it's Winter is angry. Because it's us versus... It's not so much a man versus wild. It is man versus weather in this setup. So a mysterious geomagnetic storm brought your plane crashing down in the northern Canadian wilderness. How long can we survive? We'll find out today. Life is an error-making and error-correcting process, and nature, in marking man's papers, will grade him for wisdom as measured both by survival and by the quality of life of those who survive. Let's sulk. Alright. Here we are in what looks to be the middle of Timberwolf Mountain. I'm going to head for this old man's beard over here, just because it's kind of close to an edge. There's a rope. Okay, I'm going to go peek over that edge, just so I can determine if I am on the east side or the west side. Whoop, I can't squeeze through that. I suppose I could have crouched. It's a little tough to orient here because not every peak is obviously the peak. Oh, we're over here by the river. Oh, isn't this going to be fun? Okay. So I'm going to get down because I have, like I said, no tools. We're going to book it for the cabin. The Mountaineer's cabin is not warm enough for us at all. You can see our temperature is just plummeting. So normally, don't run a whole lot in the long dark. Bear booking away from us because he knows humans are stinky. And man, I'm not even running very fast, probably because the wind is coming right at me. I'm not even really going to stop for cattails.
We do.
We do not have time. The cold is our enemy here. So the plan, as I said before, well, now it is to get to the cabin as quickly as possible, grab whatever is there, praying to the winters that there is a hacksaw, because we will need that to break into the containers, of which there is one up here, nearby, kind of over that way. And I think that usually does have clothing in it. So that might not be bad to try for that one first, although it is the opposite of the path to actually get up the mountain the first time. If you bring rope with you, you can make a shortcut to go around up the west side, but otherwise you have to take the eastern route. Which has a few containers along the way, but those... I'm not yet sure if they always contain the same thing. So I did a couple tests of this, Of course, I've been here before in a regular playthrough. I'm going to grab like these 3, and that's going to be it. That way I have mostly for the tinder, actually, because I should be starting with a bit of food. I'll probably have like a granola bar or something on me to start with. I'm not really worried about food. It's also why I'm feeling free to run. Yes, it burns more calories. Don't care. If we can get to the top of the mountain, there is those containers do seem to be the same every time. At least as far as type of contents, whether or not the specific items are the same, that's probably variable, and of course dependent on difficulty level. This will have the maximum amount of goods possible, so I'm expecting it to be similar to Pilgrim level. But there will be plenty of MREs, lots of soda to drink, and hopefully some nice warm sweaters and coats. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But we gotta stop here, pick up some tools. There is usually a hacksaw in the plane up there. I suppose I should describe that a little bit better. It's a whole cargo plane. You can see it right there. That's our goal, the tail section of the cargo plane. That'll have a whole bunch of cargo containers we can cut open with a hacksaw. There's often one on the ground there that you can pick up. There's also usually one in here, and there's sometimes usually an axe around somewhere. By axe I mean hatchet. So we get out back. No hatchet, where are you? Might be indoors. Indoors is only going to be slightly warmer than out here, so not that worried about rushing inside. Okay. Air temperature is -7. Feels like -3 because we only have 4 degrees of clothing on us. A decent sweatshirt, driving gloves. Hey, we have trail boots instead of sneakers this time. That's nice. Usually I get sneakers, but see, the clothing is absolutely awful. Here's our hacksaw.
This will come in handy.
Poor condition, but it'll open up a few containers for us. The climber's note. We do not have time. If you'd like to pause the video and read it, go ahead. I'm going to leave it there. We don't have time to deal with that nonsense right now. We're just going to take everything and GTFO.
This stuff will come in handy.
Except the rifle cleaning kit. I'll leave that here. That is absolutely useless to us at this point. And if we find a rifle, it's usually in good enough condition that we can start using it. A knife. Awesome. Take the fir firewood. Leave the cedar. Take this vest. And where's the... There's no first aid box. That's different. I've never played this without the first aid box there between the beds. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to not get injured. Simple as that. I have a couple bandages in the inventory. Alright, so we got some firewood, we got some stuff for tinder, we've got matches, and even an accelerant. In case of emergency, we'll probably need to start at least one fire on the way up there. You can see I'm starting to talk faster and I'm getting frantic here, because I know we're cutting it so close to freezing it to death. Here we go, we have the bedroll. Bedroll is going to be very important. But I've tried going straight for the eastern shot, going straight up the mountain. That is really tough to do, especially since we're all the way down here and already freezing. So instead what I am going to focus on is going up this side. It's going to take a little bit longer. This is not the most direct route. We're going to make an attempt. Attempt will have been made to get up into the cave. There are 2 fully interior caves in Timberwolf Mountain, zigzagging, or cutting through the mountain on your way up there. The first of which, it is entirely possible to reach without actually climbing a rope, which we could probably manage one rope we stopped running around everywhere. Look at this fool. Dashing along up over the mountain. If you thought you could get away, if you think you can position your character in a place where the animals can't reach you, you are mistaken. Unless you come down the rocks, I suppose. You could, you know, fall down rocks. Awkward ways. A little cairn there. Not going to take the time to poke at it. I don't even think that one has been filled in, so I've definitely seen that one before. And we can make our way up here. A little bit of a jog. I believe this spot is just shallow enough. Shimmy our way through. Take a shortcut up this cliff. Or, not really cliff. This plateau. And there should be another container right this way. Say another. The first of many containers to save our lives. Somewhere. Don't make me a liar, game. There you are. Normally guarded by wolves. We're not going to worry about them. Worry about the freezing temperature. Look at our condition dropping as we go. This is why running is totally worth it at this point. Dead guy? Oh, he has an extra hacksaw. Awesome. Do you have anything useful for us on your person? Matches in charcoal. Good. I'm not even going to map. I'm going to take damage making a map. So we're just going to bust in here and find drink. Perfect. That means this one's probably going to have food. There are 2 compartments to every container. They're usually thematically related. Yep, see? Canned goods. This one's on the other side. I have not found anything by breaking down these crates and boxes. If you have, I would love to hear your story. Seen...
I'll take it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, good. Oh, fantastic. Wait a second. I probably should have put those on first. But we're gonna go for it. We're gonna be greedy. What's in here? Oh. I said, what's in here? Search! Hold down that mouse button. Can opener, sewing kit. Can open. Tools. Okay. Perfect.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
So, wear the coat. And... wear the ski jacket. Nothing. We've got fleece mittens. I love how they're all the exact same. No extra socks, no different boots. No pants, but we do have an ear wrap. I saw at least 1 toque. There we go. 2 toques. There we go, look at that warmth bonus, up to +9. Alright, now that we're not super frantic. Yeah, pea coat better than the ski jacket at this point. My brain is scrambling here. So what is truly the best? We're still going to go for the cave. Because there is nothing for us left in... Here's the rope that you could climb up. If you thought you were saving yourself the trouble. But I like avoiding the ropes because they exhaust the characters so much. And oftentimes they don't even save that much time. I'd have to run over there to get to the containers and then run back over here anyways. I'm leaving the reishi mushrooms and the rose hips for later. We have plenty of calories on our person in the form of canned goods. And for anybody curious, I am not above starving the character should the need arise. I don't anticipate us really needing to do that. Just because the sheer amount of food we're going to gather. Again, it's the fight against the cold is the biggest deal. The biggest ordeal right now. That's going to be the main trouble. And as I said, this trek is going to be long. You do have to go up a minimum of 3 ropes to get to the summit. And I have yet to climb 1. Right, we went here for some clothing to start so that we could survive a little bit longer. The trade-off being it's going to take us a little bit longer to get to the top. So whether or not that's really worth it, that'll be for you to decide. If you would like to try the other route, definitely encourage you to. There is another container over there. If you very, very slight detour to the one of the wings. I don't remember if they label them as such. As soon as I'm not losing condition, I will stop, draw a map, and for those of you that aren't that familiar with the map, point out places that I'm referring to. When I say east and west, I mean, of course, I'm facing basically north at this point. The cabin is on the southern portion of the map. The summit itself is right in the middle. The weather is looking awful, as it does. Here's one of the engines. We're getting close to the cave, though, where it will be not as cold. It's not exactly warm in there. Location engine, alright. Not exactly warm in there, but I have found that your bedroll warmth bonus is enough to make it through. I should start picking up sticks now. This game is sometimes extreme pickup sticks. So, I don't remember exactly how far along it is, right? After the tree? For it. I would grab stones, but not really useful. I'm not looking to peg any rabbits at this point. Here we go. Handy dandy. Tree pointing the way. Say, go in here. Ah, made it. And here we get our first save. So you can see, oh, we're actually warming up thanks to our additional layers here. If you came in here without any extra clothing, see that air temperature is not good enough, although I believe I can walk forward a little bit. Get down, no, still -5, okay. I think usually it's a little bit colder close to the entrance. But I do have a lantern. Hopefully it has a good amount of fuel in it. Oh, yes it does. Oh, it's all full. Look at that, lovely. We're gonna do fine, just fine. Alright, but I think here is actually a good place to cut the episode. I'm gonna try to trim these up into short segments. When I come back in just a few minutes, I'll put out a double feature today. There'll be 2 episodes worth, so you can dive in and get a taste of it. We're going to continue through the cave out the other side and make our way up the rest of the mountain. Hopefully find some more gear and stop freezing to death. Because this is good. This is a very good coat, but it's not good enough. Not to survive outside, anyway. My name is Michael Batman Guy. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.